I'm gonna start this video out by saying you shouldn't let a PvP event dictate how you play, but just in case you're out there, bumping around as normal and you have no idea what's going on, Crimson Harvest is basically a PvP incentive event where during the event, 90% of stuff that is on your ship will drop, so that it incentivizes more PvP, and by extension, it will you'll see a vast increase in the amount of ganking that happens in high sec. So, with that being said, do I think you should stop mining during Crimson Harvest? No. Should you take extra precaution? Probably. But in most cases, it's just going to motivate people to go after miners and PvEers more. But if you are doing what I've talked about on the channel, watching local, watching DScan, situational awareness, you don't have a whole lot to worry about. So for this video, it's not going to be a long one at all. I'm just going to go over some fits that might make you feel a little bit more comfortable when you're kind of out there and about during Crimson Harvest. But if you already don't concern yourself with getting off grid or watching local or watching DScan or putting -10 contacts and all that stuff, then no amount of tank, no amount of fit is going to save you. You're just going to feed. Okay. So I'm just going to put that out there. But for those of you who, pay attention to the guidance and stuff that I try to teach on this channel, and you understand that no matter what fit you're running, no matter what ship you're in, if you see a, activity and gank fleets coming in, you just leave. It doesn't matter how much tank you have. You should always just try to get off grid. And this is going to be one of the last videos we talk about ganking because, quite frankly, I'm just kind of sick of the topic. I feel like a broken record, and I look at stuff on Zkill and I just see just people not, paying attention. So I put out all the content out there, all the information, all the tips, everything that I can teach you to keep your ship alive, and stuff like that is out there. But we're going to go over just a little bit of fits. We're not going to go through every single mining ship because you guys are miners, you're industrialists, you're smart. You can infer a lot just from me going over a couple of hulls for what you might need to do. This is a skiff fit. I've been actually running this for a while. This is what you would call a max tank fit. So in the lows here, we got reinforced bulkheads, we got damage control, and then we also have medium defense field extender 2s up here. There's more buffer tank, identical on each. And then I'm running a multi-spec 2 on each of these, and then a compact just because that's how you can get it to fit. And there's going to be a large shield extender 2 in here. I am running modulated strips with Type B2s, so for high sec ore that is everywhere. We want just fast cycle times. If you're doing Mercoxide, if you're doing Argnor Bistai, if you're doing any sort of noms in null sec, use type A's or something like that. Let's go and simulate this, and you can see that this fit, when you have all the hardeners on, is 134,000 EHP. If we actually overheat these, 152. Most cases I don't even worry about overheating these because like I said, I'm watching DScan, I'm watching local. If I see a bunch of catalysts or a bunch of coursers or tornadoes or whatever come through, I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna leave grid. That's how it works as a miner. The extra tank on your ship can help you. In most cases, I would say nowadays with how rampant, low-hanging PvP ganking and high sec is, putting a bunch of yield on your ship is not really going to benefit you all that much. If you have high yield but you lose your ship all the time, what's the point, right? So this would be like an example for the skiff there. But in all honesty, it's pretty much the same. You basically look at Tech 2 shield, you look at bricks, which are reinforced bulkheads or damage controls, and you try to fit as much of that stuff on whatever hull you're trying to fly there. So like even for like an Orca, we're just going buffer tank, buffer tank and hardeners. That low reinforced bulkhead damage 2s. We got buffers here in the rigs. You can also go even a step further if you don't want like buffer tanks in the rig slots here. You can actually go to armor, and I like to use transverse bulkheads if I'm not using extenders, and that just gives you a crap ton of EHP as well. This is simmed out to almost 500,000 EHP, so that's an option you can do as well. Even on this skiff, if we would actually switch this over, let's go and switch this over real quick to transverse bulkheads. It goes up to 125. It's a little bit less. We benefit a lot more from actually having the extenders on this ship. So you just got to play around with those numbers. But defense field extender 2s and transverse bulkheads, those are 2 rigs that will help you out a lot. And then just working on getting that Tech 2 tank and all that stuff. Different ship hulls will, only allow you to do so much, but just try to squeeze all that stuff in there as much as possible. Let's look at the Porpoise real quick to just kind of cover the command ships. So this one here, this is just a rigless run, but this has got a couple of large shield extender 2s on here. It's got a couple of multi-spec 2s on here, and also it has that reinforced bulkhead and that damage control 2 on there as well. Even if I'm drone mining, even if I'm out there just wanting to chill and I'm not wanting to worry about it, I'm not usually running drone rigs because I'd rather have the tank, just to help me get off grid a little bit better if I need to. But transverse bulkhead 2s on here, this would give me about 109,000 EHP, or we can also sim this over with shield rigs as well. Let's go down here and go to shield rigs, and then you got the field extenders here. It would be your more buffer tank, 109, roughly the same. Depends if you want to put more into the shield or more into the structure. So let's talk about a couple more. As far as like ventures and expeditionary frigates and stuff like that, I wouldn't worry too much about tanking those guys too much, because that's not really their purpose. Their purpose is to be like the mobility and just be able to get around and be really dodgy. So you can go a little bit more yield on those guys, but I do like the expedition frigates. They have a lot of utility, and I just end up using them more than anything else lately. So let's go ahead. Covetors, I don't recommend. Like, I'm just going to go blanket statement here. Covetors, I just don't recommend these days. Retriever, I don't recommend either, because those are just, those are ship hulls that people are just looking for because they're easy to kill. If you are in a barge, go procure, stack some tank on there. That's going to be your best bet. Even here, we look at here, this is fit for low sec, but let's say you're going to go high sec with this. I would even take this mining laser upgrade off completely, and we'll go lows here, and we'll go see, reinforced bulkheads right there. It gives us 79,000 EHP. This is a medium. Let's see if we can actually get a large on there. And the thing is, you're gonna have to get your Magic 14 skills up. You're gonna have to actually get some of those skills that will help you survive and stuff. So it looks like oh, those are hull repairs. What am I doing? We need to go shield. It's like, no wonder it doesn't work. So regular large shield extender 2 is not going to work on this ship. It just doesn't have enough power grid and stuff like that. So mediums will work just fine here. But I mean, still, that's 79,000 EHP on that thing, and we've got field extender 1s on here. And field extender 2s are expensive, but they will save you, and they will help you get off grid if you're really riding the line really bad like that. So let's go here. Let's go Tech 2s on here. That puts us up to 84,000. Like, if I was only in a barge and couldn't do Exhumer yet, you shouldn't go into Exhumer if you don't already have Tech 2 tank trained up, in my opinion. So this should be what your procure looks like before you actually commit into Exhumer. If you skip barge altogether and you just inject all the way into Exhumer, then you've already seen the skiff fit. You kind of know how that goes and everything. But that's going to be it for this video. But just to recap, should you stop mining during Crimson Harvest? No, don't let any of that crap, dictate how you play. Just pay attention to your surroundings. Fit a little more tank than you normally do. Just give yourself a little bit more comfort out there